On the morning of October 28, 2025, tragedy struck Kenya's coastal region. The serene morning was shattered by a devastating event that would leave a lasting impact on the community. A Mombasa Air Safari Cessna Caravan, a small but reliable aircraft, crashed in Kwale County, killing all 11 on board. The passengers included tourists and locals, all of whom were looking forward to a day of adventure. The plane went down about 10 kilometers from Kwale town, in a remote forested area that made rescue efforts extremely difficult. The dense vegetation and rugged terrain posed significant challenges for the emergency responders. The crash happened just after takeoff from Diani airstrip around 5:30 a.m., with dawn's dim light complicating the search. The early morning departure was meant to give passengers a full day of exploration, but it ended in tragedy. The aircraft was completely destroyed, debris scattered widely, and the impact was so severe that no one survived. The wreckage was a grim testament to the force of the crash. Local residents, drawn by the sound and flames, were first to reach the wreckage, providing harrowing initial accounts. Their quick response, though valiant, was met with the heartbreaking reality that there were no survivors. Emergency teams faced steep hills and dense vegetation, making recovery slow and challenging. The difficult terrain and the scattered debris made it a painstaking process to recover the bodies and investigate the crash. News of the crash sent shockwaves through the local community and Kenya's tourism industry. The loss was felt deeply, not just by the families of the victims, but by the entire region that relies heavily on tourism. What began as a dream safari adventure ended in unimaginable tragedy, leaving behind grief and unanswered questions. The incident serves as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of fate. The crash claimed 11 lives, 10 European tourists and their Kenyan pilot. In a matter of moments, a journey meant for adventure and discovery ended in unimaginable tragedy. The serene beauty of the Maasai Mara was shattered, leaving behind only wreckage and heartbreak. 8 of the tourists were Hungarian, including 2 families and 2 minors. They had traveled together, hoping to create memories that would last a lifetime. For these families, the trip was a long-awaited dream, a chance to explore the wonders of Africa and bond far from home. The other 2 tourists were German, also seeking adventure and connection in the wild beauty of Kenya. Their excitement and anticipation were shared with loved ones back home, who now face an unthinkable loss. Their dream vacation turned into a devastating loss, wiping out entire family units and leaving communities in mourning. Friends, neighbors, and colleagues across Hungary and Germany are left grappling with the sudden absence of those they cherished. The pilot, a respected member of Kenya's aviation community, was also lost. He was known for his professionalism and dedication, and his passing is deeply felt among colleagues and friends in the aviation world. Each victim had a unique story, their lives and dreams cut short. They were parents, children, siblings, and friends, each with hopes for the future and plans that will now remain unfulfilled. The tragedy resonated far beyond Kenya, drawing condolences from across Europe. Flags were lowered, and messages of sympathy poured in from leaders and ordinary citizens alike, united in grief. For the families, the loss is deeply personal, a sudden void that statistics can't capture. The empty seats at dinner tables, the silence where laughter once was, are daily reminders of what has been lost. The process of repatriation and grieving began, thousands of miles from home. Families faced the painful task of bringing their loved ones back, supported by their communities but forever changed by sorrow. Behind every name was a parent, child, friend, or colleague whose absence will be felt for years to come. Their memories live on in the hearts of those who loved them, and their stories remind us of the fragility of life and the enduring power of remembrance. The flight was a classic safari route, connecting Diani's beaches to the Maasai Mara's wildlife. Diani, famed for its white sands and turquoise waters, is a gateway for tourists seeking adventure. The passengers were headed to Tembo Airstrip in the Maasai Mara, Kenya's iconic wildlife reserve. This 2-hour flight offers breathtaking views, linking 2 of Kenya's top attractions. Such flights are vital for tourism, saving travelers long, difficult road journeys. Airlines like Mombasa Air Safari specialize in these routes, using sturdy Cessna caravans for remote airstrips. For the tourists, this flight was the bridge between beach relaxation and safari excitement. Their anticipation was cut short just minutes after takeoff. The crash turned a journey of dreams into a tragedy, leaving their safari adventure forever unfulfilled. Local residents were the first to witness the disaster, hearing a sputtering engine echoing through the quiet savannah. Many were going about their daily routines, tending livestock, gathering firewood, or simply enjoying the morning, when the unusual sound caught their attention. The sudden change in the engine's pitch sent a ripple of concern through the community, as people paused and looked toward the sky, searching for the source of the disturbance. Moments later, a thunderous crash shattered the calm, followed by a towering plume of black smoke rising ominously from the dense forest. The sight was both terrifying and surreal, as the smoke billowed above the treetops, visible for miles around. The villagers immediately understood that something catastrophic had occurred. Without hesitation, brave villagers rushed toward the burning wreckage, driven by instinct and a sense of duty to help. The fire, fueled by the plane's full tanks, raged uncontrollably, making any hope of survival impossible. The intense heat and thick smoke forced many to keep their distance, but some pressed on, desperate to offer assistance. The situation was further complicated by the remote location and the challenging terrain. Emergency services, alerted by frantic calls from the villagers, raced to the scene, but faced treacherous, muddy roads and dense vegetation that slowed their progress. The rugged landscape made it nearly impossible for vehicles to get close, forcing responders to carry equipment by hand. To make matters worse, poor weather conditions hampered the rescue effort. Rain turned the ground to slippery mud, and visibility was limited by low clouds and persistent drizzle. By the time paramedics and firefighters finally arrived, it was heartbreakingly clear there were no survivors. The crash site was a scene of utter devastation, with debris scattered across a wide area and the remains of the aircraft barely recognizable. First responders moved quickly to secure the area, cordoning off the wreckage to preserve evidence and protect the dignity of the victims. They worked methodically, documenting the scene and searching for any signs of life, even as the reality of the tragedy set in. With heavy hearts, rescue teams began the somber task of recovering the victims. Every effort was made to treat the remains with dignity and respect, as the community watched in silence. The emotional toll was evident on the faces of both villagers and emergency workers alike. In the midst of tragedy, the resilience of the Maasai Mara community shone through. Villagers and rescue workers supported each other, offering comfort and solidarity. The professionalism and compassion of the emergency teams stood out, as they worked tirelessly under difficult circumstances. The focus quickly shifted from rescue to recovery, as the community came together to mourn and support one another. Soon, investigators arrived to begin the painstaking process of determining what went wrong. The harrowing scene underscored the immense challenges of responding to aviation accidents in remote regions, where every minute counts and resources are stretched thin. Yet, amid the devastation, the courage and unity of those involved left a lasting impression. Attention quickly turned to the cause of the crash. Kenya's Civil Aviation Authority and Air Accident Investigation Department launched a full investigation. Early theories pointed to heavy rain and thick mist, which can be deadly for small aircraft in hilly terrain. Investigators are examining weather, possible mechanical failure, and the pilot's actions. The Cessna Caravan's reliability and maintenance records are under scrutiny. Human factors, including the pilot's experience and decisions, are also being reviewed. A final answer will only come after months of detailed analysis. Official statements of condolence and commitment to a thorough investigation came swiftly. Mombasa Air Safari expressed deep sorrow and pledged support for victims' families, promising full cooperation with investigators. Kenyan authorities, including the Kwale County Commissioner and the Civil Aviation Authority, confirmed the incident and launched an inquiry. Initial confusion over the number of passengers was quickly clarified. European governments responded, confirming the loss of their citizens and offering consular support. Diplomatic channels were activated to assist with identification and repatriation. These statements provided verified information, sympathy, and a commitment to transparency. The tragedy highlighted the need for accountability and reinforced the importance of aviation safety. Authorities promised a transparent investigation to provide answers and prevent future accidents. The crash reignited scrutiny of Kenya's aviation safety, especially for light aircraft serving tourism. While major airports and airlines have strong records, smaller operators face challenges with weather, terrain, and oversight. Recent accidents, including an AMRF crash near Nairobi, have raised public concern. International audits have highlighted areas for improvement, particularly in accident investigation. Kenya has made progress, but high-profile crashes damage confidence and threaten tourism. Most flights are safe, and pilots are well-trained, but every tragedy is a call for better standards. The challenge is to learn from this crash and strengthen the entire aviation system. Only a transparent investigation and real reforms can restore trust in Kenya's skies. For the families, the crash brought unimaginable grief. News of the disaster shattered lives in Kenya, Hungary, and Germany. The sudden loss, far from home, left families struggling with distance and bureaucracy. The deaths of 2 Hungarian families, including children, devastated entire communities. The Kenyan pilot's family lost a provider and community leader. Grieving families now face the long process of rebuilding their lives. They await answers, hoping for closure, though nothing can replace their loved ones. The true cost of the crash is measured in the lives forever changed by loss. As recovery ends, the official investigation begins in earnest. Kenya's Air Accident Investigation Department leads the inquiry, joined by international experts. Their goal: uncover the truth, not assign blame. Investigators will analyze wreckage, flight data, maintenance logs, and pilot records. International cooperation ensures a thorough, impartial process. The final report will detail causes and recommend safety improvements. Implementing these lessons is crucial for Kenya's aviation future. For families, only answers and accountability can offer some closure. The hope is that this tragedy leads to safer skies and honors the memory of those lost.